Hello? Alright. Alright. She's on this time. Alright, that's recording. Okay. So, I have no idea if my mic's very loud or not. I'm sorry if it is. I just went over your first game and forgot, and my mic was muted the whole time. So I'm going to go over it again. So it might be a little bit more clean this time. So that's good. If anything, it's better for you. Maybe I'll see something.
That was my bad. My bad.
I didn't see before.
Bijang.
So I'm going to make the same points I did last time.
Control center. Control center.
With this Orisa,
Control center.
I want you to watch your pools. Your Orisa halts.
Check one.
These bad boys.
Working. Check one.
It's a big point. So Orisa's pool's crowd CC, super huge.
Where's my mic?
This is big right here. So it might be hard to see, but you walking forward right here, you might have been checking for your mic. You could see this Reaper right here. I noticed it the first time around, and I don't think any of your team did. Maybe somebody called it out and I can't hear it, but that Reaper, you can see him, so you know he's behind you. Either way, you still play this right. He shoots you in the back, you walk in front of your shield. That's still the correct way to play it. You know you're being shot, you fortify, you walk in front of the shield. So that's good. That's good. But then he wraiths and you pull. Kind of like the same time, but pulling him doesn't really help anyway when you know he has wraith up. You wait till after he wraiths and then pull if you can. Or you pull the Reaper, so you shield dance as much as you can, and you pull the Reaper on the opposite side of the shield that you are, so he can't shoot you. So that was not really a great pull. The rest of this fight is good though. Kill the Orisa. Look at this. Bad pull. This Doom dies. The rest of the fight's clean. The rest of the fight's clean.
Check one. There I am. Okay, my mic works now. Alright, pushing.
So the call to push is good, and that's a good shield. On this corner, playing on this corner is really good. Because when you hold this corner, and you let them walk in a little, they have to walk through this tight choke, obviously. So it's pretty good. That's why people hold front.
Pushing.
And right here you hit this May wall, and this Orisa dies, so it's huge. Right here, I wanted to point this out. So your Moira ults. Look at this. So your McCree's in front of you, and you see your McCree's in front of you. So you know your McCree's right there. The enemy Sig is there, and you have your pull on cooldown. Now, obviously, he has a heal orb, but if you pull the Sig here, or even above, so your McCree can get a couple shots, your McCree gets ult charged, and maybe he might die. Maybe your May will hit a headshot or something. And instead, you don't pull. I don't think you pull again until like 60% or like 80% or something like that. So you're not really utilizing your pull to the best of your abilities. So the Moira ults, and he's fine.
Let's pull back, retreat.
Retreating is not a bad call here. Playing corner, good call. Pushing forward right here is a good call too. That's all played really well. That whole part of that fight is played really well. I don't know how this boop happened, but that was all played really well. That's big. Seeing that Reaper's big, but you make a mistake after.
Alright, pulling back.
So, you saw the Reaper who was outside, so you make the call to pull back. And then this Reaper dies. So, I don't know if Boss said the Reaper died, because I can't hear him. But that Reaper dying is huge, and you have to know that Reaper died. And you keep calling to play back. Like you're still looking. Look, you're looking everywhere. but he's dead.
Let's pull back. Let's pull back. Play point. Play
You're
point.
calling to play point. He's dead. You know this Doom is left though. You just heard that punch.
Halt.
You halted after he was dead.
Nice.
I think. Nah, he died at the same time.
Nice.
Not a
We
horrible
got
pull.
someone on
That's a
the
good
right
pull.
side. I don't know who.
You best head for the hill.
Here's Sigma on the left. Sigma on the left.
Alright, so you just watched your Sigma get obliterated. There's nothing you could do. But what you can do is something
Push
here.
in. Push in. Push
You
in.
make the call to push. I want you to be able to see this. So you make the call to push. Alright, I want to get that pause right here after you shoot this thing.
Push in. Push in. Push in.
What does this pool do? And you use it immediately. So before this pool happened, this Orisa used Fortify, and he can't get pooled, and you know that. And the pool doesn't work through shields. So this pool doesn't affect this Sig at all either. So this pool isn't great. What you could do is you could wait until you fight this 1v1, which you do, and you kill the Orisa anyway. But if you have the pool to fight this 1v1, it makes it way easier. Because I think he still has his pool up. Or you can kind of pool behind their shield to group them together if your Mei pushes forward. So your pool could have just had a better placement is all. It's still played well. Like you still push well and everything. That's a bad pool. Because if you have this pool here, you can just pool. I mean, I know it's an easy 1v1 you win anyway, but pool makes it a little bit easier. It's not a bad shield. That was a fat pool, dude. That one was big. Huge pool. That pool is insane. So because of that pool, you know that you're up. So they have one fight left, and you know you're up the 6v4. They're fast characters, so they'll get back fast. But their team is going to have to touch point without these two. And you know that. Or you should know that at least. And then another big thing happens. You kill this Moira. So now, final fight. It's a final fight. So they're going to have to touch on a 6v3. Or they're going to have to stagger in. They should probably stagger in one at a time, but they don't do that. They take the 6v3. So, on this 6v3, you know they're staggering in. So you need to kill them as fast as possible. That's a good pull. You need to kill them as fast as possible. And something that really, really helps that is Supercharger. And you don't drop it. So if you lose the fight, having Supercharger is really good. But it's also better if you just win this fight. If you win the fight, you win the map. So you hold Supercharger this whole fight. When killing the enemy team as fast as you can as they stagger in is way better. That was a good pull. You pulled him into the Mei. I don't know if it was on accident or not, but that was a good pull. So right here, if you're watching kill feed, which is huge, by the way. I don't know how much you actually pay attention to the kill feed, but knowing what is going on, knowing who's dead and who's alive, is super vital information. So you know it's a 6v4, and you heard the Doom ult. So you know Doom ult's coming in, but you also know it's a 6v4. And something to make a 6v4 way easier is Supercharger. Just to try to hammer the point across. That was a good main reaction. Good pull. Alright, you kill the Doom. It's a 6v3 now. Still holding Supercharger.
Lucio on the right side. Lucio.
Kill the Lucio. 6 on 2.
Ball.
Holding Supercharger. Especially after this Moira ult ends, because there's no way they can kill it. You could put it on high ground right here, and you'll get the whole point. It's nitpicky, but using that Supercharger basically guarantees you this fight. Supercharger guarantees the win there, and you never use it. It's weird because if you commit and you lose the fight, you know, it sucks, but it's still, you still have 99% to take it back. So especially when they have to stagger in, killing them as fast as
No,
possible is
Supreme
huge.
Judge, dude. Stick with the.
So supercharger is
Stick with the
huge
signature.
there.
Thank you. Yeah. We don't have a mercy. Let's not run the Pharah.
It's a good call. Shouldn't run though.
All right, let's just go up main.
I think they TP here.
Okay, that's fine. It's through the TP then in the window.
You make a
On the
mistake
point.
here after you TP in. So do the right thing. You TP, you check bridge, check coast, which I would do too.
Right, they're going white.
So you see that they're going white. You know that they are. And you push forward out in this little archway and you put down your shield. And then your shield gets shredded immediately. And you're still standing in this archway. Like, even as you back up right here, there's a giant wall right there that you have to go behind, or else you're gonna get shredded. And instead of going this way, you choose to go this way out into the open, and it ultimately gets you killed. See?
Yeah, we should play
It's
the
just
corner.
a small positioning mistake. All the mistakes you make are minor, by the way. Like, there was no mistake you made this game that was super glaring at all. At least to the first map. I've only watched the first map. So at least to the first map, there's no mistake you make that's super glaring. It's literally just tiny errors that over time will make differences in all the games you play.
Back.
And this is unfortunate. It's a bad shield. You throw it across. And so if you just throw this shield like right here, it covers your all the way down for you to go around and to the point. Which you fucking yeet this bad boy
Bastion.
over to Bastion. Which, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. You guys lost the point anyway. But
Third point. Yeah. All right.
I just figured I'd mention it.
You can get out if you can. Yeah. That's a good question.
I don't know what the question was.
All right, let's go white. Left side.
Alright, so I said this earlier too, the first time I did it. You make the call to go left side, go white. And when you go left side like that, you're fighting through that tiny ass hallway. If you go right, you have the potential to get booped by the Pharah or the Lucio. The potential. But if you go right, your McCree has the potential to kill this Pharah. If you go left, it's going to be really hard for your McCree to actually do anything about the Pharah in the sky. Because if you guys go left and McCree goes right, he has to go by himself to shoot this Pharah who's in the sky. So, it's not a bad call by any means. It's just,
McCree,
it makes it
teleport
really
behind
hard
him
for your
and
McCree.
Say when you're gonna do it, and we'll press front at the same time you do.
And this
Right?
shield is
Left
pretty
side,
bad.
left side.
The shield coming up.
So say when you're teleport. Oh, Reaper! You guys see that Bastion? He's way in the
That's a good call. To call the Bastion way in the back, that's a big
back.
call.
We can push front. Let's step in.
But where you mess up is you charge so aggressively. You could put a shield down and save 300 health.
Step into the point right now.
And your fortify. If you would have put a shield down first and let your Sig shield push you guys on the point. Big pull.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
So you have no cooldowns and 200 health. But you just said, fuck it, let's go. So yeah, you know. So you hear that Bastion ult, and you know it's coming. Your Moira dies, your Sig dies, you guys lose the fight.
Alright.
Like I said, no major mistake is made there.
Yeah, I'm not a good.
It's just maybe a shield to cover your guys' entrance. And
Let's
then
run
as you
Zarya.
guys get into the point, you put down the Sig shield
Can you run Zarya?
to cover you guys on point for a second until you guys can try to break in.
I know.
So you guys switched Ryan Zarya, which isn't bad, and you switched no hit scan for the Pharah. And I think it's because if you guys are going left, the Pharah is going to have free range the whole game. You know, it's really hard for a solo hit scan to duel the Pharah, but you know, it is what it is.
No, we're losing all charge, but that's okay. Let's run white again. Let's go left again.
The call for Ryan Zarya isn't bad,
Left again.
but this is not great. So you cover the entrance, which is good. That's what you're supposed to do. You keep everybody
Alright, we want
alive.
to get on the point fast.
I want you to watch your shield
hold
health.
The speed boost. Hold the speed boost.
Look at it.
Speed boost.
So
And the point fast.
right here it's
Hold
regenning.
the speed boost. Hold the speed
You got hit by one rocket, you interrupt the regen. Put the shield back up.
boost. Speed boost.
And I know you want to get here as fast as you can. So as a Reinhardt, when you're running Ryan Zarya and Junk, you need to get in their face as fast as you can. So you need to cover this bridge as fast as you can with as much health and as much shield as you possibly can. Okay? So you're going to push.
5, 4.
So you call 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1. Boost.
And you call boost. And look at your shield health. I know you want to get in as fast as you can, but you're facing a Pharah Bastion and this tight choke. So you're gonna sprint down this tight choke against a Pharah Bastion and take a ton of spam damage. So having your shield at max health is huge.
Boost in, boost in, boost in.
So you let your shield regen to 1100 health and you take 200 damage instead of just waiting 2 seconds for your shield to be regen fully. And because of that, your Moira has to ult immediately. Actually, I think it was the jump that got low. But the Moira ult immediately and keeps you up, but now your shield is broken and you're at half health. So you go around left. You walk into point with no shield, which you had Moira ult, but it's still iffy. And right now you have 250 health and you're about to get slammed. So having an extra 1,000 shield health will help that
we got one more
push
push.
immensely.
Let's try the same thing again.
And you do the same thing again. This is the 4th time you went white, and both times you didn't
Let's
even
push him.
make it to point.
Be ready to hold that barrier. Be ready for that barrier, though.
This is unfortunate. You guys C9. Your Lucio should be touching.
Speed
This
boost
Lucio.
again. Be ready with speed boost. 5.
This is a good pin. You got bubble.
Nice
It's a
call.
good pin.
All right, cool. We got this.
But you guys don't touch point. Your Lucio probably should have touched.
Sorry, I was too late on my reaction, but that was really a good call.
What I like here a lot though is you apologize. You said sorry for the reaction.
No, it's no one's
For the
fault.
late
It's no
reaction.
one's fault.
And that I have no idea how much they're bitching, but you keep saying it's no one's fault, which is huge.
All right.
Staying positive in Overwatch and keeping your team from getting tilted is giant. Because the moment you get tilted, you start playing the blame game, and then nobody's happy, and everyone plays worse. So staying positive like you are is big fat giant. It's incredible. I love it. You choose to run Zarya again, which is
Can we
okay.
get something instead of the Ashe? Can we get something that works better with the comp, like Reaper or May? Something that can.
Here's where
sustain with us?
K-Sui says they had a fair dude.
Okay.
And then
Well,
the
then
Sims
instead of
switches to
Symmetra,
Reaper.
can we run Reaper or May?
None of the suggestions you're making are bad. They're okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm learning that these calls are wrong. Tell me later, but we just got.
You said if these calls are wrong, tell you later. They're not bad calls. I don't think any calls you made have been bad calls throughout the game. Not bad calls. Maybe going white over and over again wasn't the best decision. Last point, but none of the calls are bad.
Gotta move.
So you see everything they have. You know they have Pharah. You know they have double shield. So since they have double shield, you need to get on this point as fast as you possibly can. Because if they get on point before you and set up their shields, there's no way you're going to win the fight.
Straight to point, straight to point.
And you make the call straight to point. Big. But right here, you have Lucio, so you guys have speed. The Orisa is here, and their Sig is here. You need to collapse on this Sig and murder him. Because if you don't, he's going to get crazy value. It's a split-second thing, but your shield's already at 600. So you have to make decisions. And you start to lean that way, but you guys never call to kill that Sig. Or at least you don't. And it works anyway, because you guys collapse on them and are able to do enough damage to kill them. So it worked. It worked, but it was...
Farah.
I think it was just because the Bastion took so long to set up.
Farah's coming around the left.
Right. You keep calling her left. And I know it's your left, but
On
it's
left side.
right.
Front side.
But you get it. You know. This is big for me too. I know it doesn't
We don't
seem
have any
big,
ults.
but your shield's at 1400. That poke damage doesn't really matter that Farah does. I don't really think she's gonna kill anybody. But, you know, no big deal. So you let your shield recharge to... That was a big 5-strike, to 1800. So before the fight starts, you're down 180 shield against double shield.
Hold up.
Now you're down 200.
Hold those bubbles.
Now look at all this damage your shield's taking. Your shield took 800 damage before they were even at choke. And then you push hard. Which is a bold call. I don't know if I'd push this hard. Because... instead of pushing super hard, last fight they got ganged in this corner and you killed all of them. So instead of pushing directly into this Farah Bastion, you can hide behind this wall and let them push in a little and let your shield recharge a little. You're kind of low already. You're at 300 health and 1000 shield. So your shield's already kind of low, especially against the Farah Bastion, and your health is kind of low. So instead of rushing like you do, you should probably hide behind this wall. And you get the Moira kill. So this is huge. Because you get the call for bubble, and I think you're going to push up to try to shatter. But since you guys kill this Moira, you need to see that. So you guys are you're ahead of main healer. So if you guys extend this fight... over time, you guys can do enough chip damage. If you can do more chip damage than they can do burst damage, you'll win the fight. So if you guys stall the point and hide behind that wall, like I said, especially after you kill that Moira, the fight's extended and you guys can probably win.
Bubble me.
But instead, you called for that bubble and got bubbled. And I don't know if you know how much damage bubble blocks. It blocks 200 damage. So 200 damage against the Farah Bastion is not going to give you a lot of time to push for the shatter. Especially when your shield's already broken. So you call for the bubble, you get the bubble, and then you get obliterated. So, I think making the call to extend that fight
Stall the point out. Don't use
is
ults,
better.
no ults, no ults.
But what you did say is my fault, and I like that. You don't always have to say it because it clutters comms a little, but I like that you took responsibility for it. I like the positivity, the responsibility. So as you're charging in, you need to be watching this kill feed. So, oh, that was the pencil. But you need to watch this kill feed. Big Boss got 2. So right now it's a 5-on-4 on point. Your DPS got another. And you're checking menu as you're charging, so you could actually see who's dead. Right now you see both tanks and the Bastion are dead on point, and only your Lucio's dead. So right now the point is a 4-on-4. Reaper dies. So you guys are down 1. Now you're down 2. And now this is a weird fight for me. Because I'm going to tell you to do so. The call to save ults was a good call. And your Moira ults, both Moira's ult here. So it's going to extend the fight a little bit longer. But I want you to look at this. Look at this shatter you have. Now their respawns are going to get here anyway. And you guys are going to lose the fight. But... look at this shatter. You could turn it. This Lucio strafes right a little bit next frame. And you could hit both of them. So if you shatter both of them, you charge this Moira, who can't fade it because she's in her ult. You charge this Moira, your Moira will focus down this Lucio. And now you wipe both of their supports. Which is super big. Because right now you're playing against double shield. You're playing against Orisa Sig. And you know you're playing against Orisa Sig. So getting value out of your Earth Shatter is going to be tough. So if you shatter this right here, you might win. I mean, I doubt it, but it makes this fight actually super close. Like, you guys might actually turn it. Instead, they separate, the Farah gets above you, and then the fight breaks out. So,
I've got no shield. That's alright.
You know. You look, your Reaper get back, your Zarya. If you would have shattered those two, that fight, this might actually be a winnable fight. Super hard to get value out of Shatter against double shield, and you're gonna see that.
All right.
Too.
Let's hey
That's nitpicky, by the way. That Shatter call right there. But
in case we flank
you never
on the
know.
right side, throw in the Bob while we go in the front.
That's not a bad call for K-Sweet to flank Bob, but Bob against Bastion is gonna get shredded. So just keep that in mind. He might not give you a crazy
And
amount
then
of
we'll
value.
in the front.
So right there, you got bubbled.
And
Look,
then we'll speed boost in the front.
right here, bubbles on you. And then you're gonna walk forward.
Speed boost in the front, and then big boss.
Oh, this wasn't the same fight. That's my bad. So you call speed, they drop their assault. I just want you to point out. I just want to point out, your shatter value was the Orisa ult instead of maybe those double supports. Just something to keep in mind. But you guys should win this fight. That Lucio survived with beat. I actually had to rewind to watch that.
Yeah.
This is that was played poor right there. So after you charge this Lucio, you don't really do anything. You stand in this corner, let your entire shield get broken by this Bastion, and then pin. Where instead you could keep your shield and hide around that corner. That corner right there. But your whole shield gets shredded, and then you decide to pin, and you die.
Fuck.
Which is not a fight you win anyway,
Bad call.
but keeping your shield health is important. And you said that was a bad call, and I don't really think you made any bad calls there. Maybe a little bit, misplays, but no bad calls. Maybe you were saying somebody else had the bad call, but you've been taking credit for everything, which is huge. So you taking credit for that bad call is pretty big.
Yeah, just
'Cause it keeps
don't
your
take
team
the fight.
spirits
Yeah,
a little
good job.
high.
Good job getting out.
It's good to keep positivity.
All right, we got time. Let's do one more push. Don't use all this push.
You have 2 fights left, and you call for a fight with no ults.
All right, bubble me in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bubble Ryan. Bubble Ryan. Bubble.
I'm just gonna circle something real quick. You have 500 shield health before you're even engaging. That's all. Instead, you can go around right. You can hide right.
Bubble Ryan.
I don't know. You can let Ash try to kill the Pharah. Instead, you pin in and die.
That's
That one's
okay,
not the
that's
best
okay.
decision.
Sorry.
And you say I'm sorry, which is big. You realized that was a mistake while you were playing, so that's
Don't
really
use
good.
grabs. Just keep pushing their ults out. Don't use them. Don't use them. We got time for one more push.
Which is true. That was a good call. Don't use ults. Let them use theirs. Good call.
All right, we're gonna go in on grab. Yuki, you.
It's good, by the way, that you're making plans for the fights before they happen. That's good.
Just use yours at your discretion. We're gonna go in on grab.
Thanks.
You get bubbled. So you get bubbled.
Go in main.
All right. So, I just want to. I hope you know this Bob is right there. You gotta see that during the game. I have no idea. It doesn't really make a big difference now, but you should know that Bob is there. And since that Bob is there, they back up into point and get grabbed. So that Bob is big.
Huge grab. Huge grab. All right, nowhere else. Somewhere else. Win this
All right.
Here.
So from right here, I'm gonna pause this for a second. See if the quality. I could fix this quality. Okay. Okay. It's gonna be a little grainy for a sec. So right here, I want you to see something. This is your ult charge. They probably only have one more fight. 2 if the first fight they die quick, it's 2 fights, right? So at max they have 2 fights. More than likely 1. So you need to build this shatter. You having shatter for the last fight could be a difference maker. But what are you doing instead?
Where are you?
You're checking menu. walking around point. Look, on this map especially, all the teams walk down this tight choke. You can hit a fat shatter. Everybody you hit with a fire strike, you get 5% ult. You need to hit 4 people with fire strikes, and you get at least 2 throws of it before they actually get to the point. So you should be really working on getting this ult up right now. And what do? You turned and walked to the
Oh, I
point.
see you. We should try and bait you in,
So
bait them into you.
the plan is to bait
big
them into
bots.
the Reaper,
Bait them in.
which, you know, look at this fire strike. It's minor. Like you know, you missed. Everybody misses fire strikes, but you hit the wall. And you really want to get this ult up. So look at this. Before the fight really starts for real, you're down 1400 shield. You have 700 shield before this fight starts. Instead of using natural cover. So I want to show you something. So as they're
We should try
pushing
and
in,
bait
why are you holding your shield up like this?
bait them into you.
No,
Bait them
nobody's
into big
gonna. They
bots.
don't have any snipers or anything.
Bait them in.
So you want to bait them in. You're right behind this wall right now. Why not stay behind it? What is this? The question is, what value do you get out of doing this shield? Who's getting value right now? You have your Zarya beaming theirs. You're holding the shield. I think that's K-Sweet right there on Ashe. Or on Hanzo. He's shooting a shield. Like, you get no value out of holding up the shield right now. All you're doing is taking shield damage. And now, before the fight even starts, you're at 700 health on your shield. Now, this is when I would hold up my shield. Because Bastion, he just ulted. He has a one-hit kill potential on all your squishies. So now you hold up shield. But now your shield's already at 700 health.
Shield's at 400.
So your shield breaks before they even get to the point.
Shield's
big.
Shield's down.
You miss another fire strike. It's not a bad pin.
Bastion's out of
I like that pin, actually.
mode. He's down.
And now the fair's going to ult on your head and you die.
Stall this. We're at 99.99. Just get there and stall.
That's all. So I think the big things are on Reinhardt. Your shield health management needs some improvement. The shield health was big a few times on your Ryan, and your Orisa pools were not the best. You had a couple good ones on the first one, but you went like a giant chunk of the map without even using them, which is it's okay, but it's better to try to get value out of your cooldowns. But I think that's all for the first map. The shield health is big. Big.